One guys, side control top. We'll cover a little bit of keeping side control top. Because obviously any attacks that you do from top position, if you can't stay on top, they're not worth a damn. So we covered the Salpalo system. So usually when you pass the first kind of pin that you're coming into the side control, okay? So really side control entails me keeping Carl flat on his back, okay? Using the minimum amount of energy and not letting him turn onto the side, because the two main percentage escapes that Carl can do is turn onto the side and put me in the guard, or turn on the side, win the underhook and come up to his knees, and then he can start to take me down from the ground. Now he's on top, but both require him to turn on the side. So again, you'll see this a lot in a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where I would use the cross face on the underhook and knee at Carl's near side hip and a knee in his head, and I'd probably just get a gable grip and I'll squeeze a little bit, and Carl's going to try, I'm going to keep Carl flat, and he's going to try and turn onto the side. And possibly, what this look over, I might be able to keep him flat, but over time you're using a lot of energy, you're squeezing the guy. I can put a heavy cross face on Carl. There's nothing like a heavy cross face to stop a guy from turning onto the side. You know, if I'm mushing Carl's head this way and I have the underhook, turn onto your side, Carl, it's just not going to happen. But the problem is, and in future weeks we're going to look at, for me to attack this arm or his neck, I have to bring this arm to this side, you know, and then he's winning the underhook and getting to his knees. So let's look just at a different way of keeping him flat. This is Henry Aiken's way of keeping the person flat, and again it's using this concept of being heavy as a whale. So rather than me having my near side arm as the cross face, I'm going to bring it over in front of his ear, okay? Now, normally when you think about side control with a cross face underhook, it's usually my stomach's over Carl's stomach, and my chest or sternum is over Carl's sternum. Now his goal is to turn onto the side, so the first thing that's going to happen is this shoulder's coming off the mat. Now if I'm here and I'm putting all my weight on Carl's sternum or his belly, just turn onto your side there, bro. Yeah, keep on, keep on. I can't really stop his shoulder from turning. Why? Because all my weight's, you know, sternum to sternum. It's like belly to belly. I want to be putting my weight on this shoulder, because that's what's trying to turn into me. If I can control this shoulder, there's no way he's turning onto the side. So think about your chin is in the center line of your body. So I'm just going to put my chin on that shoulder, okay? My second hand is coming over and it's going to control the head. For Carl to shrimp out and put me in the guard, his head has to move this way, alright? If you watch, if I'm here, Carl shrimps out and moves his head out to put me back in the guard. That's going to be very difficult when I make a wedge with my elbow, okay? My chin is over his shoulder. Now let's get heavy. Right. The only part of my body I want on the mat from side control is my feet. So from there, I'm going to lift my hips in the air so that they're higher than my shoulders, okay? And I'm putting all my weight into this near side shoulder, okay? And then my legs are bent. Now as Carl tries to turn into me, I'm just putting all my weight on that shoulder. So my legs act as a buffer. And it's hard to see this visually in the camera, but the only part of my body on the mat is the balls of my feet. It looks as if my elbow's on the mat, but it's not. My elbow's just on the side of his head. Now if I keep my legs in the air and I'm buffered, from there there's nothing blocking Carl from putting me in the guard. So now this right hand will drape the hip. Let's do this way, bro. So once I get to here, my right hand is just going to drape the hip. Now I start pressure on that shoulder. Carl's going to try to turn on this side. The only part of my body on the mat, Carl will tell you, is my toes. There's no other body, because if I have an elbow on the mat and my hand on the mat, my weight isn't on Carl, right? I want all my weight on Carl. Any part of your body that's on the mat, your weight will be on the mat, not Carl. So from that position, the drill is, okay, I'm going to give him the underhook because when we start the escape mesocycle next Thursday, you'll find it's significantly easier to get on your side if you have the underhook. So the drill is going to be, can we use weight distribution to keep Carl flat on his back, okay? So once I get into here and my chin is over his shoulder and I drape this, and I start lifting my knees off the mat, your partner is just going to try and turn on this side. And I'm going to keep him. Okay, let's just get another angle on that, bro. So we're here. So from this position, my elbow comes to the far side. My chin, okay, is over his shoulder. My right hand corrals the hip. I'm going to give Carl the underhook for this drill because it's easier for him to get on the side. And I want to develop this skill of using weight distribution on this shoulder to keep him flat on his back. That's the drill. I do not want him on the side. So again, from there, my knees are on the mat. So is the weight on Carl or on the mat? On the mat. Yeah, I want it on Carl. So what I did is this. Notice the way my butt is up and my knees are higher than my shoulders. My Carl's going to try and turn on the side, and I'm sagging on him. Now, if he does happen to get a little bit of a turn in, look at my feet. They act as a buffer. I just push. And I'm using very, very little energy here to keep him here. I'm just sagging on him. It's called heavy as a whale compared to on your side, having to squeeze him. And then for me to attack this arm, I have to come over anyway. The process he's winning the other to get it to the side. Make sense? So one more time on that. I'm going to give Carl the underhook for the sake of the drill. Elbows beside the head. Right hand drapes the hip, chin over the shoulder. All my weight is keeping him flat. This is just a drill. Keep him flat on his back. Lift my hips up, and then I just sag on over. That's the drill. Easy.